All right, so just in addition to the arch taping that we saw, again, taping should never be done in isolation. So this would be another one kind of exercise where we're actually starting to strengthen up the chain to help lift the inside of the arch. So as much as you want to strengthen with doming and foot control, we also want to start looking up into core stability and also strengthening the rotators of the hip to help with alignment down the chain. So one exercise I like to give, not just to kids, but also adults, is just to kind of show them how if we strengthen up the hip, it helps everything down the line. So I call this one candy cane legs, or you can think of like a barbershop spool around the thigh bone. So what Jade is going to think about is she is going to start to rotate the thigh bones open. And I just want you to notice with the dots that I've put on here, how that affects alignment all the way down. It's actually very cool. So now she's going to relax. So just notice again, her arches collapse in. This is totally common in a lot of people, even in myself. And so it kind of, the arch will start to drop there and also affect, again, the ankle joint and affect the tracking of the knee and so on and so forth. But again, if she thinks about rotating the thigh bones open, so that's happening deep in the hip joint, it not only helps lift the arch, but it's also going to help align the knee. And then she would try to strengthen these deep rotators. Check out my soapbox on strengthening the deep rotators. So that, again, when she's holding her turnout or even in a regular person, I just kind of show that if we're strong on the hip, it affects the alignment all the way down the chain. And just relax there, Jada. The cues that I'm not really a fan of is when people are told to like, well, just think about lifting the arch. So she just kind of lifts her arch. Notice she gets really grippy in through the ankle. Some people will also start to claw the toes, but it doesn't really help anything up the chain. It's just kind of creating more tension in the foot. So she's going to relax. Again, think of the thigh bones rotating open. And just enough so that we still have contact to the base of the big toe, and now her ankle is in what we call neutral. Looking from the side, so if Jada turns to the side here, she's going to start relaxed, and most people have a little bit of hyperextension in through the knee. And so again, people have cued this in the past, like, well, just, you know, bend your knees a little. But then I find they can't find that happy medium. They feel like their knees are completely bent, and they get like almost overactive quads because they're in like, they feel like they need to be in this sustained squat. So she's gonna again think of rotating the thigh bones open, and just notice how it takes a lot of that kind of hanging out in the back of the knee. It takes it out just enough so that again, we have better alignment to the knee tracking over the ankle. And then she's gonna relax. And again, rotate those thigh bones open. So I'm not telling her to bend her knee, but it's putting it in neutral just from using one cue. With her kind of maintaining that little candy cane leg, she might try a few rises with this. So rise up and come down. And again, rise up and down. So with dancers, I would be like, I want you to practice rises on demi-point with this little cue before you start and try to maintain that throughout. For a regular person, I would just say, okay, I want you to try to rotate those thigh bones open, and you're going to do some calf lifts. So the cueing's a bit different, but essentially it's trying to get good ankle, knee, and hip tracking, and just setting them up for success by cueing at the hip. So adding on to that candy cane leg cue, she would be practicing that at home, and another way I could kind of show her where that hip is articulating in the socket is she's going to stand in parallel, and then she's going to rotate, again, candy cane legs, thigh bones rotate open without over gripping in the glutes, and then she's going to go back to parallel. And again, rotate those thigh bones open and back to parallel. So again, I'd have her do that kind of open and close just to kind of suss out, oh, that's where the rotation is coming from, at the thigh bone. A lot of people don't have that awareness. And then another thing she could do is she can rotate the thigh bones open. If she was a dancer, which she is, she would try to maintain that turnout and just try a few rises and come down. And she can also try a demi-plie. Trying not to move the discs, but again, feeling those thigh bones rotating open and stand.